streaming now. I've adjusted a couple of the settings from last stream, so let me know if the audio is any better or any worse. I've also changed positions a little bit to be hopefully a bit more comfortable. Before I was sitting on some stone steps, which made my legs go completely numb after a little bit. So today we found a chair and we're going to be trying to stream this way. There's not, just like last stream, not a ton of method to this video, just trying to hopefully push Trophy Road, and we may end up switching this in a little bit and just doing ranked instead, because usually how Trophy Road works is I start playing Trophy Road, I get matched up against a level 16 Firecracker, which I can't kill with my level 15 Vines, and then I end up, Okay, hold on, I just loaded the chat here. A boring channel, thanks for the input. I'll try to adjust the audio here. Okay, let me know if that's any better. I usually don't use this mode on my microphone. It's supposed to be a mode where it kind of reduces the wind noise and whatnot, but a lot of times what ends up happening is it just makes my voice go, it like ends up varying the voice. Like, when I talk, it just sounds weird, which is why I don't really use this mode in my recording. But let me know if this helps at all, if the audio is any better, or if you want me to kind of, I can probably move the microphone out of the wind a little bit. But also, you're one of the most, consistent people, one of the most consistent people that shows up to the streams and shows up to the videos, so thank you. I appreciate that. So this is what we're going to be trying today. We're going to be trying to move up in Trophy Road. I don't know how to pronounce your name, TJ. Hey TJ, thanks for joining. We'll jump right into our first game, and again, I adjusted one of the settings on the microphone, which might help with the wind noise, but it also might not. So let me know if it's any better or not. And one of the reasons why I don't love playing Trophy Road is because there's just more. Sorry, I kind of queued right into a game before showing you the deck, and I didn't even see the Mega Knight there. We shouldn't need to. Healing it up isn't going to do much because the Inferno Tower's on it, but the deck is essentially it's a Golem beatdown deck. It's the deck that I usually use to do Trophy Road and Ranked. It's not quite Sneaky Golem, but it's Speedy Golem with the Evo Baby Dragon and the Evo Furnace. And I didn't even see him put down the Mega Knight, so I don't know if it was Evo'd or not. The thing about this deck, though, is that sometimes I see he has Balloon, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has Lumberjack as well. Honestly, we're gonna let that go because I think I need to save the Mini P.E.K.K.A. for the Mega Knight. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has Lumberjack. I've seen some of these decks that have Lumberloon with Mega Knight in there, and he has Evo Inferno Dragon, which I've sometimes seen as well. Yeah, you're right about that. This was a crazy deck before. We're just gonna Vines it just so that the Mini P.E.K.K.A. can hit the balloon, but yeah, the 50% speed up was crazy, and now it's 30, and it's still a good viable deck, but it's nowhere near as strong as what it was before, beforehand. So it looks like he's gonna go in here, maybe. I think as long as we can kill the balloon, we don't need to answer anything. Man, I'm spacing out. I need to focus. So we need to reset our baby dragon over there. He's just gonna go Mega Knight on top of this, isn't he? Good news is it's targeting the mini P.E.K.K.A, so maybe... No, it's not gonna stay alive. Well, I'll focus up in the next game. But yeah, they did make the speed up. It was the only change that they made. It was a 1-card cycle for a very brief time when they first released it. I wasn't playing it then, but then they ended up changing it to a 2-card cycle. But the change that they made is it sped up allies by 50%, and they changed it to speed up by 30%. So it was almost half. And beforehand, it was so... I do think it needed a nerf. Like, I do think it needed a little bit of a nerf. Wasn't super happy with how much they nerfed it, but it was overpowered beforehand, because even if you had a counter to it, like even if you had Mighty Miner or Inferno Tower or something that, you know, is known to kind of hard counter Golem, even if you have that, with the 50% speed up, it usually sped up so much that it could speed out of the Mighty Miner's range, which would reset it. It would speed to the tower really quickly, and because I was using vines, you could briefly... I think this guy might have given up or just lagged out, but like you could speed out of the Mighty Miner to reset it. You could get to the Inferno Tower really quickly, and then you could vines it to reset that. And so usually Inferno Towers weren't an issue. It was just... It was super broken before they nerfed it. I think originally they were going to nerf it to 40%, but then they nerfed it to 30, which was, you know, a bit disappointing. It definitely is making it a bit harder to climb up a little bit, but I just hope we encounter as few, because one of the reasons why I mostly play ranked mode when I play competitive instead of Trophy Road is because there's just less pay-to-win influence in the game, right? Because everything... And this is what I'm saying. This guy has a level 16 Firecracker, and it seems like almost half the games I play, I'm matched up against this. Okay, I don't know why I wasted that over there. But we will activate King and not take a hit here, and I guess we'll heal that up just because I think he's gonna... Okay. Yeah, we're gonna lose most of our tower there. But like the reason why I mostly play ranked mode when I play competitive is because the level's capped at 15. It feels like there's less of a pay-to-win influence in the game. And like with this matchup, he has a level 16 Firecracker, and I didn't see if it was evoed or not, but it probably is, considering how he's cycled it a couple of times already. I think I have to hold on to the mini P.E.K.K.A for the Mega Knight, because I don't have a whole lot of other answers for it, especially because he has arrows. But with a level 16 Firecracker, the level 15 vines don't kill it. And if it is evoed, then we're totally done for, because all he needs to do is play it. You can't see it here, but all he needs to do is play it somewhere over here where the bar barrel can't kill it. If he plays it up front, which most people don't, but if he does play it up front, it's a... again, most people don't do it, but the bar barrel can hit it, and then you can vines it if the bar barrel doesn't kill it already. But if he plays it in the back, and he played it kind of early there, which is good. We'll go Golem anyway, just because it doesn't really matter if he rushes us in that lane, because we're gonna lose it anyway. And we already know he's going to go with his Mega Knight, which is probably evoed as well. So we'll just try to kill it as quickly as possible. And somehow the mini P.E.K.K.A did heal He also has arrows, so and he probably has a big spell as well. Yeah, I could have played that a bit better, but level 16 Firecracker is I think it's the only ranged low health card that doesn't get killed by underleveled vines, because if it's a level 16 Dart Goblin or a level 16 Princess, those still die to level 15 vines, and so those are not really an issue. Like, he is a level 16 Princess, but if he plays it in the back, the vines will still kill it. It's just the level 16 Firecracker that doesn't die to it. So, and the Knight is going to get in front here, so we're going to have to play a mini P.E.K.K.A. as well. We're just going to have to take that. So the reason why I play ranked is because levels are capped at 15. The vines can kill firecrackers, because it seems like a lot of people at this range, or maybe just in general, but it seems like a lot of people play Hog Firecracker, and you know, it seems like every time it matches me up against a level 16. Like it's like it could be a level 15, but no, it seems like it's a level 16 every time. And so, and the thing is, I also have a few level 16 cards myself. I mean, the Furnace is level 16. I think the Golem is as well. And then the minions, and I think one more. I think the mini P.E.K.K.A. is as well. So I have four level 16 cards, and so it also makes it a bit more fair for other people in ranked mode, because, you know, maybe they're in the same situation as far as maybe. Okay. So maybe other people are, because I've faced some underlevel players as well, and I just think it makes it a bit more fair for them as well, because they don't have to play against level 16 cards. They, you know, if my cards are level 15 and capped at level 15, then it just makes it a bit more fair for them as well. And I don't think we're going to be able to get a Golem in front of this, and even if we do, the Furnace is on no health anyways. So, and it's good that his Mega Knight was evoed, but he also didn't, I don't think he played it until now. So it's going to be, I don't know if he's going to be able to get to the Evo in time. And I think that's it's going to do it. So we'll hit him with the well play, because he said that a bit earlier, but you know, that was kind of a really long explanation that didn't probably add much value, but that's essentially the reason why I play ranked, is just because it seems like there's less pay-to-win influence. Makes it more fair for me, it makes it more fair for other people as well. And P.E.K.K.A. is usually a bit annoying for Golem to get through, but it's still a winnable matchup as long as he doesn't have something like, you know, an Evo Executioner or something. There's a couple things that you just do not want to see as a Golem player that give Golem players nightmares, and Evo Executioner and Evo Valkyrie are two of them. I don't think that should get a hit if... Okay. It wasn't as clean of a defense as it probably could be, but, you know, I guess that it could have been worse. So he has P.E.K.K.A. Goblinstein. I think that was an Evo Bomber as well. So I think what we have to do is, I think we have to mini P.E.K.K.A. when he plays Goblinstein, because the zap effect is going to kill everything else. It'll kill the minions, it'll kill the guards as well. And we might even have to waste our Evos here just because he's probably going to build up a massive push, and I don't know that we're going to be able to defend without them. Hopefully the Goblin Stein can get in front of the P.E.K.K.A. He has Goblin Giant as well. We'll just go with guards to distract the P.E.K.K.A. for a bit. And we are going to upgrade our mini P.E.K.K.A. at the last second. It's still not going to get much value there, but okay, that's not bad. We're a little bit ahead in damage. And we're just going to go with a Golem in the back because I don't think he has a way to rush me. He's just going to defend. And a P.E.K.K.A. is the highest damage dealing unit in the game, so it is annoying to get through, but it's not unwinnable. We just have to, let's just find these two to hopefully delay him from getting the ability off. And we'll just go with this to defend the Goblin Giant. And we'll go with guards in front just in case he tries to do something to kill the Evil Furnace. It's still kind of there, chugging along. We're just gonna, honestly, we're just gonna Vines this because the baby dragon's on the tower and that may do enough damage to just take the whole thing. All right, that is another win. I don't know where we're at. I think we're maybe one win up from where we started. Oh, one of the things that I wanted to tell you about, if you didn't see the video yesterday, I mentioned that I was out of town yesterday for my cousin's wedding. And I guess I should tell you guys how it went. The reason why I was originally going to stream a little bit earlier today, I was planning on streaming in the morning, like at 9 a.m. or so. But I could not get up at 9 a.m. because yesterday what happened was we were waking up at like 4:40 because we had to leave at 4:45 to go to the airport. And so I tried to go to sleep. I did try to go to sleep a little bit later than I probably should have. I think I got in bed at noon. Sorry, not noon. At midnight, like at 12 or 12:30. And I tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't. So I was just tossing and turning for probably an hour and a half. This guy may be playing Sparky, by the way. And just because he's going with a pump, we'll try to get something going here. Actually, I'm thinking this is this is seeming like a golem deck. But anyway, back on topic. I got in bed probably at midnight, and I couldn't go to sleep till maybe 2 a.m. and I had to wake up at 4:40 or something like that. So I only ended up getting maybe 2.5 hours of sleep, maybe 3 hours. And so we woke up at 4:45 to go to the airport, and ended up flying from Phoenix to Salt Lake City. It wasn't a very long flight. It was just an hour and a half or so. And so we flew there, got there about, I think we got there at 8:30 or so. So we got there in the morning. The first thing that we did was we went to the actual wedding itself. They were having a civil ceremony. So we went to the civil ceremony. We then hung around the church building that it was at. And I don't know why I barbelled there, but we hung around the church they were at because they were also going to be holding, they were going to be going to a temple to get sealed. And we're just going to Vines the evil witch just so it doesn't take our whole tower. And you know what? We'll go with baby dragon as well. Try to make a little push out of this. But we ended up hanging around the church, and then they went to the temple. They got sealed. And then there was, in the afternoon, after that, we ended up hanging around for a reception as well. And I mean, there wasn't all, it was kind of it was a very traditional wedding. There wasn't anything super out of the ordinary. Most of the time I was hanging out at the church, and because my dad went to the ceiling, but I couldn't, and so I hung around at the church until the reception. The reception was in the afternoon. We then went till 6 o'clock or so. It was a few hours long, and then we ended up cleaning up after the reception. We ended up getting a ride back to the airport with some of my family members and flying back. Our flight was at, I think our flight was at almost 10 p.m. So we left around 7:30 or so, got to the airport, flew from 10 p.m. to got in at about midnight. And it was just, it was probably a 21 hour day. And it was one of those days that felt like, it was one of those days that didn't feel like it was part of the same day. The days that are just, they're so long that it's almost impossible to believe that what happened that morning was that morning. Like it just doesn't feel like, it feels like much longer than a day, because it was super long. And so I wanted to stream a little bit earlier. I wanted to stream at 9 a.m. or something, but I set my alarm for 10, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to wake up super early, just because it had been a long day earlier. And I just completely slept past the alarm, and I got up probably around noon. So what time is it now? Yeah, I probably got up just an hour or an hour and a half ago. So it was a really long day yesterday. That's why I didn't stream earlier in the day like I was planning on doing. And this guy's probably just gonna Meganite on the furnace when it crosses, so we will just mini P.E.K.K.A it, and I'm gonna have to go with minions as well just because of the bats, and that's still gonna take our whole tower. So I think we're gonna need to build up a push on the right hand side, just because I don't think we can on the left. I mean, if we do it on the left, he's just gonna Mega Knight on the furnace once it gets right here, because he can. The good news is he did use his Evo Mega Knight, so it's not gonna be as much of a nuisance. And we're just kind of gonna ignore everything that's going on the left hand side, just because we can tank a little bit of damage with the King Tower having so much health. And I think we just kind of have to keep going for the 3 crown. I think he's spending so much in little increments that he's going to have to wait a couple of seconds before he can afford Mega Knight again. And he's gonna save him here. That's the thing that that's the thing about Mega Knight, is just it's kind of like Vines, in the sense that it's it's almost a get out of jail free card. Oh man. And that is gonna, okay, I thought that was gonna take more of our tower there, but Mega Knight is just one of those cards that's like, it feels like one of those get out of jail free cards. Like, oh, you're in trouble, you have this massive push, you drop a Mega Knight on it, and you're saved. That's what it feels like, at least. And I don't love how that, okay, now we are actually going to have to worry about the King Tower, because it's low enough that it is going to be a concern. And he's just going to spam us, so we're going to have to spend our evos over here because we're not going to be able to defend if we don't. I think we're going to vines just to be safe, and the Evo Furnace should prevent that from getting any damage. So we might. This Golem. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, you're in a difficult situation. Just just drop a Mega Knight on top of it, and you will be all good. And I didn't even see the Lumberjack. All right. Well, that was not the greatest game. The thing about Clash Royale in general, I'm sure everyone who's played has experienced this, but you know, if you play Clash Royale, you end up playing for a long time, an hour or something, and then you look and your trophies are exactly the same as what they were. We'll do a little bit more of this, but we might end up switching to ranked just to see if we can move up any there. We haven't encountered as many evil firecracker players as I thought, because not too long ago, probably, I don't know how long ago, but when I essentially first got to 10,000 trophies and started playing, and you know, when they unlocked they released level 16, it was like every match they were, oh, look at that, he does have a level 16 firecracker. I didn't see if it was evoed, but we'll see the next time he plays it. Because, you know, the thing about it is, if it is evoed, it can defend entire golem pushes, because all he needs to do is put it, he just puts it right over here, and if it is, I wasn't even looking to see if it was evoed. I think it was. But all he needs to do is put it back there, and there's no way to kill it, because the bar barrel can't reach it, the vines don't kill it, and if he puts it like far enough back near his tower, you know, typically if there is a baby dragon or something that kind of gets past, it usually targets the tower before it targets the firecracker, so it can just stay alive pretty much forever. And this isn't a very quick cycle deck, so it's not like I have a bunch of spirits and skeletons that I can spam and cycle back to another vines. It's like, you know, I just kind of have to. Okay, so it is evoed. He's definitely going to go with a hog in front of this, so we will try. Okay, he's not going to, which a little bit frustrating that I wasted that there. Okay. Alright, well, that was horrendous. This is gonna be an L. All right. I think we might, let's try switching over to ranked, see if we have any any better luck. This, the thing about this is that I got up to about, I think I got up to 9 on the stone steps, and then I just lost a bunch of games and got all the way back to 1 because there's no golden steps in this league, which means you can just, and I think it's safe to assume that no other league above this is going to have golden steps either, so you can get all the way up to 10 on the golden steps and then just fall all the way back to 1. So that's what happened with me. Is I was almost to the next league. I think the highest I got was 9, but then I lost a bunch of consecutive games and fell all the way back down. So hopefully we can end up at least a little bit higher up on the ladder than we were before. This guy's using the Evo Knight. I've seen a lot of decks with him in it that also have Mortar. Like Evo Mortar Hero Knight is, it just seems like it's become a very popular deck for some reason. And most of these decks do have the Hero Musketeer in it as well, so wouldn't be surprised if that is what we saw here. But usually they don't have Miner in their deck also, so this might be a homemade concoction. So he has Evo Skeletons, which shouldn't be a huge issue even for the Golem, just because we have Evo Furnace, so typically it's able to produce fire spirits quick enough that they take out the skeletons before they can really multiply. We'll hold the mini P.E.K.K.A. for his miner. Yeah, I don't think we needed to go with a bar barrel there, but did just to be safe. And there's not any point in healing that up, so we'll just let all of that go, and then I guess go guards on the Musketeer. We'll go with it over here though, because just in case he goes with the turret, I think it does a little bit of drop damage, so it might have, I don't know how much it does, but it might have taken the shields off of the guards there. And if he does go with his turret, we'll vines it. And I should have done a better job of keeping that alive. We'll actually, okay, I was gonna say we'll vines the left side because all the minions were on it, but that's not a bad, I mean, this isn't bad. We're up a little bit in damage. The turret isn't going to do much for him. The balloon is still going to get 2 hits, apparently. But maybe we can make something out of this if we can vines this. Okay. Would have been a game changer if we got a second shot off there. And now we can't take any balloon damage, so we just have to kill this knight immediately and then go with all of our, I mean, we have to bind. We can't take a single hit. And I don't even know if we can, don't know that we can take death damage either. Alright, this one's a nail biter. We'll go with minions early just because we have the baby dragon if he goes with that. I don't think that, yeah, that was a joke. I didn't know what to do there. Alright. That emote, the goblin laughing, that is my That is my single, that is the emote that I dislike most in the game. Like, that is the emote that I most hate seeing. Like, you can, like, I don't really mind if you do the pig shaking booty, or, you know, the goblin, whatever, the mocking crying one. Like, those I don't really mind, but the goblin laughing is, it's just annoying for some reason. I don't know why, but it's an emote that I don't like to see. And he has Poison Evo Knight, which means this is probably, or not Evo Knight, Hero Knight. This is probably a drill deck. Yeah, most drill decks have the Evo Tesla as well. I just went with the guards a little bit early, just in case he did go with a drill, because I don't know if he went with his Hero Knight ability. I don't think it would have reached the tower if it had been at the bridge. And this is starting to look a little bit less like a drill deck and more of something else. Just because he has Miner, which I haven't seen a lot of drill decks have, so don't really know what we're gonna see here, but we are able to kill pretty much everything there. Probably might have been able to, probably could have vines the Ice Wizard to get a little bit more damage, but I don't know. I don't know if it would have been worth it. And we do have both of our Evos now, but I think he has his Evo Witch and his Evo Tesla, so I don't know how this is going to be to break through, but Mini P.E.K.K.A should counter that. We'll go with a Furnace High, and hopefully we can force out. Okay. Don't know why I went with a Bar Barrel there. This may be I'm actually thinking this is maybe a graveyard deck, just because he has Poison, and usually Evo Witch and Hero Knight are used. It would make sense that they're using a deck like that. So I think we might have to be prepared for a graveyard. We're gonna go with the Mini P.E.K.K.A just because you know, he had all 5 levels that he could level up, and it's only 1 elixir, so he was able to kill the Hero Knight there. I do think this is a graveyard deck. He just don't really know that he's had the opportunity to go in. Okay, we are going to have to. We'll go with a Golem now, just to get it in front of the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And that should do a pretty good job of, Evil Furnace should do a good job of killing the Tesla. And we'll go with this just so that we can get a speedy Mini P.E.K.K.A. We'll go with, I guess, late guards on defense, and Baby Dragon's on the tower, so it's not gonna splash the skeletons. This is a little bit of a scary counter push, and at this point he can just poison cycle me, so this one might be over. We're gonna have to go with this because we have a couple splash cards on the board. And yeah, I didn't see how low our tower was, so it's gonna be 2 consecutive losses in ranked. Maybe this guy didn't have graveyard. Maybe he played all of his cards and... Yeah, I guess that was just it. Alright. We're going to have to turn things around now. I mean, surely we can't lose every game, right? I mean, we could, but... And of course, Mini P.E.K.K.A looks like is the 7th or 8th card. Does that happen to anyone else? It seems like it's crazy how Clash Royale can make everybody feel unlucky. Like, which is weird, because if you're making one person... Like, I don't know, if one person is constantly feels like they're getting bad matchups and bad starting hands, then surely the other person would feel good. But somehow Clash Royale can make everybody feel unlucky. And we don't have a lot of great answers, so I think we're gonna have to Vines, and he probably has... Okay, this deck might have Fireball. It's not the classic Hog 2.6, but it seems like a lot of Hog decks typically have a big spell like that. Usually ones with typically ones with Firecracker have Earthquake, and it seems like a lot of ones with excuse me. Seems like a lot of ones with Musketeer have Fireball, so we will just be expecting that. I think we're going to have to use guards and Barred Barrel on the Musketeer, because we have to kind of save our Mini P.E.K.K.A for the Hog. Alright, he's just gonna build another push, or maybe pretend like he's going to. And I think now we can finally go with this. We just have to wait till the Musketeer locks onto the Golem, and then go with that. And again, we'll space these out a bit so that if he has Fireball, he hopefully can't... The Tesla is just gonna snipe that, which is not what you want to see. Minion should actually get a decent bit of damage there. And now we're not too far behind in the damage lead. We're gonna just keep playing these support cards high, because I still have a feeling he has a big spell in here somewhere, so we don't want to put that too far back where he can just use a big spell on the Furnace. Evil Musketeer it's just an annoying card to go against, really, just because it just sits in the back. It defends. It seems like it defends almost everything, and it just can spawn an additional damage dealing unit. So it is one of those annoying cards to get through. But he just used his Hog. I think we're back to both of our Evos. And there's the Fireball. We're just gonna have to tank the Hog Rider. Oh, okay, that was supposed to be a guards. Yeah, this is another game that might be over. This doesn't feel great. 3 consecutive losses is never a good feeling. And the thing is, like, this deck is good. It's a very strong deck. It's one that I have a bit of practice using. But if I could change my deck, I probably would. I'd probably change it to slightly more of a spammy deck, like with the Evo Skeleton Barrel, because I've seen a lot of those decks do really well as far as getting to Ultimate Champion and whatnot. So I would probably switch it to that. It's just I just don't have the card levels for it. I think my Skeleton Barrel and the Mortar are actually fine as far as card levels. Like, the Mortar is 15, the Skeleton Barrel is 14. So they would probably be usable, but it's just none of the other cards that... Another Hero Musketeer. This is just the last thing you want to see. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I would probably change my deck if I could to a... What the... I just had something... I think I just had a bird poop on me. I'm not kidding. Like, what is that? There's a little orange speck that fell on my hand from the sky, and there's not any trees above me. And it smells terrible. Did I really just had a bird poop on me. That is ridiculous, man. Yeah, it actually smells awful. It's just a tiny little... It's literally just it's a tiny droplet, but it stinks. I don't have anything to wipe it on. Wow, it's like as if this day couldn't get any worse. I'm having birds pooping on me now. I had to wipe it off on the fake AstroTurf or whatever we have. And there's not like there's any birds flying around either. I mean, that's probably the only bird in the sky. Like, it's a clear day outside. So yeah, we're gonna vines these two as quick as we can, and hopefully kill the second Musketeer. And the Barbell should defend the Evil Furnace fairly well, and it's going for the tower. And okay, healing it up is going to give it a hit on the tower, and that should finally be a win, which is good. Finally, it feels good to win after several losses in a row. And sometimes I worry that I'm not playing this deck quite right, because it is a bit of a heavier deck, and usually, oh man. Well, this is going to be a fun game, just based off of that. Right now, this guy is like every... this guy is every E-Golem player ever. Just completely ignores everything that's going on and plays his E-Golems. We're going to heal this up, though, because that should be maybe a bit of a menace for him. And I'm just going to assume, that he's not going to answer this. We'll actually Vines that, just because we'll be able to get the pump as well, and some extra damage. But it really does not matter what happens in single elixir, because this guy's just going to go with his E-Golem, E-Dragon push and double, and it's going to be good news is he did use his E-Drag there. We'll just go with this just to distract the E-Dragon for a bit. And then go with all of our Swarm cards to kill this. And you know what? He is going to pump up, so we are going to hopefully not let him. We're going to just Vines everything. We will kill the pumps as well. We'll level this up, and hopefully that should be a good game. And we will cry at it, because this guy, I'm just tired of losing to these decks. I'm sure everybody is. Just the E-Golem, Healer, Evo E-Drag decks that don't require any skill to play. You place them all in double, and then you win the game. And this guy has Hog EQ in his name, so that may be what he is playing here. Doesn't look like it though. I mean, usually Evo Inferno Dragon isn't in these decks, but I suppose it could be. The good news is this is looking like another Golem deck, and this is a point where we will. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have spammed there. We'll go with a bar barrel just to hopefully defend all of this. Okay. And I think the Skeleton Army was Evo'd as well. So he's going to have Evo Skeleton Army and Evo Inferno Dragon, which are two annoying things to get through if you have Golem. If he goes with his, you know what, we will Vines, just because he shouldn't have a lot of elixir, and that should still be a hit on his tower. I don't know if that was worth it though. You know, you can probably tell by now, but the thing about this deck is we don't have a big spell in the deck, so there's not. When we face three Musketeers or Pump or something like that really almost requires a big spell to beat, then it's super hard to win, just because. And there is that. So we're actually going to go Golem in the same lane so that we can kind of. And this is what I was saying, the Three Musketeers is just not what you want to see. I think we're going to have to Vines the General as well. And, okay, we're going to have to Guards to distract this, and then quickly Mini P.E.K.K.A on this, but seems like he knew I was going to do that. This one might be over. There's just not a whole lot of answers that I have for the Three Musketeers. Like, I kind of have to. Okay. I think from now on, whenever I see someone with some, like, because I've played a few players that have certain things in their name, like there was one person I played that was like, I love Mega Knight or something, or someone's name was Mega Knight, or they had something with a card or a deck in their name and they weren't playing it. The one that I just had was another example. He had Hog EQ in his name, but he also was not playing it. And I probably should have gone with a Baby Dragon on that. And I think this guy had P.E.K.K.A and Mega Knight in his banner, so this doesn't seem like a Mega Knight deck. It seems like a very spammy deck. But I suppose it could have could have Mega Knight in it. And the thing with these decks is that he does have Mini P.E.K.K.A in it though. A lot of these spam decks have. Well, we're just gonna tank that because it's on full health anyway. And I guess we'll just go with a late Mini P.E.K.K.A. Okay, I was gonna say, I hope the bush doesn't tank for the Evo skeletons, and it didn't, which is good. And this is just an excuse to cycle the Evo. But a lot of times with these kinds of decks, they're really spammy, they're really annoying to deal with. Oh, I don't think I thought I missed that for a second. But they're really spammy, they're really annoying in single elixir, but they typically don't have the best defense when it comes to double elixir and building up a golem push. So hopefully that's the case here, is that he's going to struggle to defend with his suspicious bush. And the heal spirit, okay, is not going to heal the Mini P.E.K.K.A, which is good. And now we can go with our golem. I think we'll just go with this, just to help out against the bush. And that should be game over. And that's kind of the thing with these decks, is that they're annoying to deal with in single, and you kind of have to decide what to spend elixir on and what not, but they typically don't have the strongest defense in double. So as long as you can survive, then typically you're okay, because they struggle to defend a massive push like that. And we don't have any of our Evos in hand, so I guess we'll cycle a Bar Barrel. And usually when I was gonna say, usually when you see Dagger Duchess, it means Sparky, but this guy, it looks like, is not playing that. So we're just gonna go with minions over here, so that they hopefully don't get splashed by the witch. And we're gonna have to go with a Mini P.E.K.K.A as well, just because he arrows there. I think Furnace and Bar Barrel should be a pretty good answer to all this. Okay, so this looks like a homemade deck that he's using, which is good. I mean, I like it when people build their own custom decks instead of taking a pre-made one. Unfortunately, that's not what I did. This Golem deck is not homemade. It's a deck that has been used before. I think this doesn't look like a deck that has Fisherman in it, so I think we can go with a Mini P.E.K.K.A kind of early, and then we're gonna have to Vines as soon as we can, and that's gonna kill the Furnace, which is gonna take our whole tower. Yeah, we're just gonna have to go with, and I guess the Mini P.E.K.K.A is not. It's horrible gameplay by me. And I'm pretty sure we're at exactly the same. Okay, I guess we're one win up from where we started, but that doesn't mean a whole lot. Let's just try to win a few more. Maybe we can get up to 5 wins in this league. And the thing that I was saying earlier, that I don't think I finished saying, maybe I did, but I was going to say, I don't know if I'm playing this deck right. I mean, I would consider myself decent at the game. I'm definitely not a pro, and I definitely could be playing it better. But I don't know if I'm playing this deck right, because I know with a lot of heavier decks, like this one, I think it's a 3.9 average elixir cost, but typically with these decks, I've heard that that you want to wait for your opponent to play a card before you do, just because you don't want to waste elixir. And typically if I have an Evo in my hand, I play it almost right away. So maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe I should just be waiting until my opponent plays a card and does it, but I don't know. So I guess what I'm saying is this deck could definitely be played better, and hopefully as I play more, I can get a little bit better at the game and at learning how to play this deck. But again, I would probably switch decks if I could. I don't have the card levels for it, and I'm not really in the mood to give Supercell more of my money, especially since money it's a little bit tight this holiday season, buying gifts for everyone. Like I have a little bit of money that I saved up for my last job that I had up until just a few months ago, but it's in an investment account that I have, and so I as far as money in my actual checking account, which is the account that I use for like buying everything, there's not a lot of money in there, and so I'm not able to. I don't really have a lot of money at my disposal. So it's like it's been a little tight trying to buy Christmas gifts and also just trying to pay for the expenses of daily life, I guess. We're gonna go with a golem just so that we can get the speed, and I think we need to go guards on the ghost, otherwise that will do. I think that would have taken my whole tower, and I have to stop playing my support card so close to the tower, because he's going to fireball it every time. Okay, let's try to. Okay, should we switch it up? I mean, should we try something different? Like there's not a whole lot of other cards I can use, but like there are some that are like the recruits are maxed, but there's not a whole lot of synergy between these cards. I mean, I played Mortar Expo for a little bit, but I don't know if that's going to be great in this meta. I guess there are some level 14 cards, but most everything is level 12. It's like I would want to try out different decks in a competitive mode, but it's just I don't know if I can. Like maybe I could try. I mean, what do you guys think? If you have any suggestions with the card levels here, like does the Hero Musketeer and the Recruits have any synergy as far as just being able to defend and counter push well or whatnot? Maybe the Skeleton Barrel is fine at level 14. Maybe it's not a big issue that's slightly under-leveled. Maybe, I don't know, Princesses, I usually only see that with Log Bait, which, I mean, we do have Dark Goblin and Princess, but I think the Goblin Barrel is level... I must have passed it. I think it's level 11 or level 12, level 11, so... I don't know, but if you guys have any deck ideas that you think would be good and that, would actually be viable with these card levels, then let me know. I'm definitely open to trying something new, trying a new deck. And we're up against Bras in this next... Okay, I know it's probably just in a different language, but kind of a funny name. Bacalhau Abraz. I never know whether to like vines the Hero Musketeer when it's there, because then the Fire Spirit can splash the Musketeer and the tower. But I just don't know if it's. I think it might be too much of an overcommitment early on. Maybe it's just best to kind of take it slow, see what they have, and then go from there. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is I've seen this deck become really popular. It's just with the Hero Knight and the Hero Musketeer, and having a mortar cycle deck as well, just because it's a really quick cycle, and it's just annoying to deal with. And mortar is actually one of the cards that it's really annoying for a golem to break through, because it's only 4 elixir. Yeah, it doesn't really attack the golem. It's just kind of there, but it has so much health that the golem spends so much time on it, and the Musketeer and the other support cards that he has can just kind of chip it away. So, mortar is one of those cards that can be, it can be annoying to break through, because he plays it over here, kind of in the bottom left-hand side, and then he, it just has so much health that the golem spends so much time on it, and he's gonna get a couple of chips here with the mortar, which is not great. But the thing about this is that it's not like, he just uses mortar so I can go golem here. Like, he has such a quick cycle that he can get back to it so quickly, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll go with this here, just to try and keep that alive. And this evil mortar is actually missed the evil furnace though, so we're going to go with. It's just such a hard deck to break through. It's like you never really know what to vines. Like, do you vines the mortar to just try to chip its health down? Do you vines the Musketeer because it's doing a ton of damage? Probably. You probably a better idea to vines the Musketeer, just because it's one of the main damage dealing units. And I'm not sure why I did that. He has Fireball, so he can just. And the Knight is tanking, so we're gonna lose. And this is one of those days. This is one of those days where I'm just not playing well. We'll try going back to Trophy Road, and I think if we play a level 16 Firecracker here, then we're gonna quit. We're gonna be done with the stream, because that's the kind of stream this has been. It seems like it's just been loss after loss, and I think that snowball was evoed, right? This guy might be playing Graveyard. And it looks like he is. Looks like he's playing Giant Graveyard with the Hero Giant if he has it, and the Hero Mini P.E.K.K.A. as well, and Bowler. So this one's definitely winnable if we can. This one's definitely winnable if we play it right, because if we use the Evil Furnace to kind of, that's going to line up with the tower, isn't it? Because if we use the Evil Furnace to kind of protect against the graveyard when he goes with it, then we can kind of, it can be a good counter push if we're able to defend his push properly. And we do have minions. We have minions and guards for the graveyard, but I don't know if he has. A lot of times this deck has. We're gonna have to vines that and hope it can. Evil Witch just never dies, does it? Just stays alive. I think as soon as we hit double, though, we can go with... I'm not sure what the greatest way to go about this is, though. Like, do we counter push same lane? Do we try to go different lane and just 3 crown him? Like, I don't play this deck a ton, so I'm not exactly sure what the best way to go about it is. But if he does go with a graveyard here, I think even if he doesn't, we can still go with an Evo Furnace. And he's going to have Bowler for this whole push. But maybe the Mini P.E.K.K.A can get... No, we'll Vines the Bowler in the tower. And then we can heal that. And it looks like we are going to escape with a... We just have to hope... We just have to stop him from getting a last-second graveyard off. And it looks like we're going to be able to do it. So... That'll be a win. I think that guy probably could have played it better because I think most of those games, it seems like most of the Giant Graveyard players I play, I lose to. But I don't know who. I don't know which player has the matchup there. He has Royal. This is probably a Golem player, just because he has Royal Chef, and I think that was an Evo Furnace as well, so he's probably playing... Yeah, he's probably playing Golem. I've seen... I think it's just like a slight variation of this deck. I think he has guards with Bar Barrel, and I think he just has the Goblin Machine and... Okay, I guess not. This looks like a homemade deck by him, because usually the deck that he has is a Golem deck. Like, oh, that was supposed to be a... I gotta focus. That was supposed to be a Bar Barrel. It's like this is a Golem deck, but just without the Golem. It's just with Goblin Giant instead. So this should be a winnable game, just because Goblin Giant has much less health, so the Mini P.E.K.K.A should do better against it. And we've already taken a tower, so really all we need to do is... we just need to defend. So I think when it gets to double, I think we'll go with a Golem over here and try to push in the same lane. Because if we're able to have the Evo Baby Dragon and the Evo Furnace in the lane that he's trying to push in, then it should be hard for him to... Okay, I did not know the Goblin Machine targeted units that close. I thought if you put minions on top of it, it wouldn't... Okay, well, I probably should have known that. We'll go with this, because even if he goes with minions, the Furnace should do good against it. And now we'll go with a Golem in the same lane, because now we can put our support cards behind, and it should just be... It should be annoying for him to break through. And we may even, just because our cards are over leveled, and we are not even going to actually care about that lane. We'll just try to 3 crown him here. And this is another reason why I kind of play ranked, is because that guy, he had under-leveled cards, and it's just... I feel bad when I play under-leveled players, and it's like their under-leveled cards are just... It's just holding them back, really. So, sometimes I like playing ranked just because the cards being capped at level 15, I think, again, it has a less of a pay-to-win influence in the game. And this guy has Sparky. Sparky is a very winnable match, even though it's a great counter to Golem. Hold on, I have to find the Mini P.E.K.K.A to kill this, and then that could have been defended much better. I didn't defend that very well. But this is a very winnable game just because we have Vines, which is able to reset the Sparky. Mini P.E.K.K.A for the Giant. Like if we play guards or we play a bar barrel up here to kind of distract the Sparky, then we can go with a low mini P.E.K.K.A to help out against the Giant. And we'll just go with minions here, which should take care of this. Okay. He does have a lot of annoying counters for the Golem, though. I mean, Mini P.E.K.K.A is great against Golem. Sparky just destroys a Golem as well. I think what we have to do is we kind of have to... I think we're going to have to counter push. We're going to have to let him... So we're going to go with that. And then hopefully it's going to lock onto the Mini P.E.K.K.A, isn't it? Oh, no, I guess not. I guess we'll just go with high minions to kill this before it gets a shot. And he's up a lot in damage. And I think the next... push should do enough damage by him that it takes the tower. We're just going to go with a Golem now. Because if he tries to rush with the Giant, then... Okay, then... I was going to say it should be spaced far enough apart that it doesn't... We're just going to Vines and then minions immediately. And try to kill the Sparky before it does... And he has Minion Horde as well. Okay, we're going to go with a Mini P.E.K.K.A of our own. We're going to heal it. And what did it even go back there to hit? I don't even know. I'm just going to Vines this to kill it. And he's having to spend his Giant on defense, which is good. We're just going to keep spamming cards. And as long as the Evil Furnace stays alive, then... Yeah, that... You know what, we're just going to Vines this, and that should take his whole tower. Just because he wasted 5 elixir on the Minion Horde, and so... And the Fire Spirit killed it instantly. So that was a good game against Sparky. We'll try to win one more, and then I think that'll be 3 wins in a row, and it's not a ton of wins in a row, but maybe we can end the stream on that on a good note. And Giant immediately. So this usually means Giant Graveyard or Sparky again. So we will see. And this looks like a Sparky deck. We're just gonna have to go with a Bar Barrel early so that the Wizard doesn't splash the minions. This looks like another Sparky deck. A lot of Sparky decks have Wizard in there. I don't know if they typically have E-Wiz, but I'm sure if he goes Skeleton Army, then he probably... Yeah, we're probably up against Sparky again. So we'll see if we can end it 2v2 or 2 for 2 against Sparky. He spent a lot there, so if we go with this... Okay, clearly I did my math wrong because he has plenty of elixir, enough for a Wizard. And I think we're just going to have to Vines that just because we don't have a lot of answers. Bar Barrel was our next card, and we used our Mini P.E.K.K.A as well. So I think we're against Sparky again. He hasn't... Okay, and there it is. So this is 2 matches in a row against Sparky, except this guy has some more... I would say he has more annoying answers. He has more annoying answers because he has Wizard, which is going to do a great job at splashing. Hold on, I think this is it's gonna survive, so it's gonna at least get one shot against the Giant. And that defense is not bad. We're gonna defend most everything. And this is kind of starting just like last game, where he has He has a big damage lead, but if we play it right, then we should still be okay. He's probably going to go with his wizard. We need to get back to our vines as soon as possible. And it's going to get a second shot off. Yeah. Good defense by him. I think we're going to have to go with a baby dragon if he goes with a giant in front of this. But now it doesn't look like we're going to need to. We're going to have to play all of our cards high because he's just going to fireball the furnace if I put it in the very back. And this is kind of a scary push. I think we might need to go like this and then vines everything. And that's not gonna kill everything. I think we'll need to go with guards maybe. Okay, we do survive, but let's just go with a golem now. And then he's probably going to play a wizard, but we're not going to get the bar barrel down in time. This might be game over. I think he's just going to zap the... Yeah. Okay, well, we couldn't go 2 for 2 against Sparky, and I think this is... Okay, I guess we're a little bit higher. I mean, we got some gold, so at least we're making some progress. Here. And this guy has all of the brute spam cards in his banner, so that may be... It looks like that's exactly what he is playing, which means he's going to have P.E.K.K.A, which is going to be a bit annoying to get through. It may mean, I hope and pray that he does not have an Evo Executioner, because that would pretty much demolish my entire push. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, there's only a couple cards. There's only a few cards that you really don't want to see as a Golem player. Evo Valkyrie's one. You know, after the nerf, Inferno Tower is another one. It wasn't really an issue before the nerf, but I would say Evo Valkyrie, Evo Executioner, and Evo Mega Knight are three of the cards you never want to see as a Golem player. And a lot of times these P.E.K.K.A decks have Evo Executioner in there. So there's the Evo P.E.K.K.A. I don't know if he's shown his other Evo yet. Maybe he has and I just wasn't paying attention. We're going to go with this kind of up high, just so that if he poisons, he can't poison the tower as well. And the furnace is still going to be alive, which should get a little bit of chip damage unless he responds to it. I'm just going to go with minions because I think we need to save the mini P.E.K.K.A for the battle ram. And we're going to go with a golem in the same lane that he's kind of been pushing. We can go with that to... I think that'll counter the whole battle ram. Okay. We'll have the vines as soon as it gets close enough to the tower. I think we'll just continue to ignore everything on the right. And didn't have a whole lot of answers for the Dark Prince, but we did, like, even with P.E.K.K.A, like, these matches are still winnable just because you can still get a decent amount of damage even if he has a P.E.K.K.A down. I don't know why I played a furnace there. We'll heal the P.E.K.K.A just so that it can get a shot there. And he... Okay, minions are gonna clutch up. We'll go with a furnace here just to cycle to our Evo. And the good news is he doesn't look like he has an Evo Executioner, which is good. Because if he did, it would be over. There would be no hope of winning if he has that, because it pretty much counters all of the support cards in my deck. Like, it would just constantly be... Okay, I think that should be... Went with the mini P.E.K.K.A way too late. I mean, now we have both. So what if we go with a Golem here? If he goes with a Battle Ram in the other lane, we can go with a Furnace. Okay, it doesn't look like he's going to. But if you went with a Battle Ram in the other lane, I think what you can do is you can... Okay, we'll just have to Vines everything. And that should be... not enough to defend. We were about a second away from winning, but I should have bar barreled earlier. I thought that would be enough to defend everything, but it was not. Okay, let's try to win one more, just because we have to end the stream on a win. We can't lose and end it on that. So we are up against another chef player. So okay, I don't know. Don't typically see chef with Lumberloon unless he's using Mega Knight, which he could be. And how is that taking my entire... hate playing Lumberloon players. Even though we have a decent amount of answers for them, actually, so I probably... And that's the thing, even though there are tons of answers that we have for like we have guards for the Lumberjack, we have mini P.E.K.K.A for the Lumberjack, we have minions for the balloon, which I just wasted right there for... Okay, I guess it still did some good. But that's kind of a testament to how broken Lumberloon is, because even though you have the answers for it, it still ends up getting... If he Vines this, we'll just Vines. Okay, well, that's fine if it gets a hit. But it's like, even though we have the answers for Lumberloon, it's still just annoying to play against. It still always seems to get damage. It's still a difficult push to defend. And before, when I was climbing up, you know, up to 10,000 trophies, I was playing a Mortar Expo deck, and that was another deck that seemingly had the answers for it. We'll go with a Golem here. And if it goes with a balloon. Okay, he is Boss Bandit as well. We'll go with a Evil Furnace low enough so that if and when the Lumberjack dies, it hopefully doesn't... I don't know why I Vines that. I didn't realize his tower was so low. But the Furnace is... Okay, I was going to say the Furnace is still alive, but it's not. It's definitely going to go with a balloon in the pocket at some point. You know, but I guess what I was saying before is, even though... What the... I promise I'm not this bad at Clash Royale normally. Normally I'm okay, but you know, it takes a significant hit once I start recording. So, you know, I promise that this is not how I play all the time, but it just seems like the brain deadery is increased once I hit the record button. So we're up against Dagger Duchess, which I thought meant Sparky, but I think we played a couple of games this streaming session who weren't playing Sparky and that had Dagger Duchess, so we'll see what this is. And it is pigs. And we'll go with... Okay, this guy's just playing the swarm cards galore. Okay, so he has pigs, bats, and goblin gang. I didn't see... Okay. His Valkyrie is evoed, which, like I mentioned, is the last thing you want to see as a golem player, because, like, I found that it's typically, like, it seems like there's some golem decks which, it seems like there are some golem decks where the Evil Valkyrie doesn't matter too much. Like, it still does decently well, even if they have Evil Valkyrie. Like, if they have the healer E-Dragon deck, it doesn't seem like it's a big issue, because usually they have Mini P.E.K.K.A. in that deck. They have healer, which does well against Valkyrie, and then they have 2 dragons, which are not damaged when the Valkyrie pulls them in. And so it seems like with those decks, you know, it's not too bad. But with this, I would say the main threat with our push isn't actually the golem. It seems like I think the main threat is the Evil Furnace, really, because the Evil Furnace just sits there and spews out fire spirits like crazy, and we're just going to try to kill these as soon as we can. We do not want to have to deal with that. And we actually will heal up as well, because I think he is still going to need to answer that. But this is one of the decks where the Evil Valkyrie, a lot of times it sucks in the Evil Furnace, and a lot of times they just play the Evil Valkyrie on top of the Furnace. Like, they just play it. Okay, he played his Valkyrie really early there, which is perfect, because usually they just wait for the Furnace to cross, and then they go with their Valkyrie, so it kills the Furnace. And this, I don't think his 3 Musketeers are going to be able to save him here. But it just, that guy didn't seem like he really knew what he was doing, because he had Evil Valkyrie, he had 3 Musketeers, he had Pump, he had a lot of answers for my deck, but it seemed like he played it horribly. He played the Musketeers in a position where a Mini P.E.K.K.A. could be played on top of them. He played the Evil Valkyrie in the back so that it didn't get a whole lot of value against the Golem push. I mean, it just seemed like, I think that matchup would have been horrible if the player was good, but luckily so this is log bait, which means I think that Valkyrie was evoed, and I think it means he's going to have an Inferno Tower as well. So this is going to be another difficult matchup. It's definitely, I don't think it's in our favor, because, you know, again, the Evil Valkyrie is just something that is not fun to go up against. Having to break through an Inferno Tower as well is also not fun, but it is winnable. I've won long bait games before, but if they're good enough at the game, that they'll win, because I would say the matchup does slightly favor them. I'm not going to use that as an excuse if I lose. Like, if I lose, it's because I didn't play well. But this is one of those decks that is, you know, that is annoying to. It's just one of those decks that's annoying to break through, because. But it looks like he's not hesitating using it. And because it's almost dead, if he goes with his barrel, we'll just go guards. And that should be a pretty good defense. Sometimes these decks have Rocket as well. If this deck does have Rocket and Inferno Tower, then I think our chances of winning go from about, 35% to 10%, just because, rocketing the support cards is something that he can do, and that looks like a deep barrel, so we'll just go with a mini P.E.K.K.A. to counter that. And the minions are going to take care of the Goblin Gang, so, I'm almost positive he has Inferno Tower. The question is just, does he have Rocket as well? And we are going to find that out. Probably going to find that out now. Okay, I think that's a good Vines. That was kind of a... I don't know why I didn't support that more. That was, I guess, more of a test push. We'll go with another one here, and then we'll put the Evil Furnace behind it. And if he has Rocket, he's definitely going to use it on the Furnace. I mean, it gets too much value not to Rocket. So... And it doesn't look like he does, but he does have the Evil Valkyrie, which, again, you can see it pulls the Furnace in and just... It kills it so that it's just a hard card to break through, and I think that is going to be the game. And I think that this is the exact same point where we start. I think we started at 10,550, and now we're right back there. So sorry, I haven't even been looking at the chat. I completely missed your message from like probably half an hour ago, asking what the Evil Furnace does. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, a boring channel. I know you mentioned that I need to be better at reading the chat. You can tell I'm still not very good at it. So, if you are still watching, then the Evil Furnace, it spawns Fire Spirits quicker. So normally it spawns a Fire Spirit every 7 seconds. And with the Evil Furnace, I think it spawns a Fire Spirit every... We're just going to heal this up just to hopefully get a hit. But when it's evoed and when it's hitting something, like when it's targeting a unit, it spawns a Fire Spirit every... I think it's every 2.5 seconds or so. So it spawns Fire Spirits almost... I think about 3 times quicker. So it essentially just spews out Fire Spirits, and so if they play a Swarm card like a Skeleton Army or a Minion Horde, then the amount of Fire Spirits that are coming out is just so much that they're jumping on all the Swarm cards. It's really hard for them to be able to defend with a Skeleton Army or a Minion Horde or something like that. It's not quite the equivalent of like an Evo E-Drag, where it just... But it's similar in the sense that it does really well against Swarm units, because the Fire Spirits spawn much quicker when it's targeting something. It doesn't have any more health, but it does. Yeah, again, it just cooks Fire Spirits quicker, and it's going to need to cook really quick to take care of the evil skeletons. Okay, well, we need to go in here because I did a horrible job defending that. And you know what? We're gonna Vines the Knight, just because it's attacking the Furnace. I think we need to try and keep it alive. And Phoenix is gonna respawn, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be another game over. I'm really not playing this. It might be time to take a break. A lot of times when you just... And now this guy's just... Didn't even need a graveyard there, but... Yeah, I think a lot of times when you're doing something for so... When you're doing something for so long, like when you're just trying to focus on a certain task for an hour or so, at some point you just get completely. At some point you get completely burnt out, and you need to take a break. You need to do something else. Otherwise you end up getting. It's like the more time you spend on a game, it's not necessarily the better you are. A lot of times you'll spend time trying to get somewhere. You'll spend somewhere trying to get, somewhere on a game, and it's like you think the more you play, the more progress you're going to make, but sometimes you just play so often, your brain just gets completely burnt out to the point where you need to take a break. You need to do something else. Otherwise you're gonna be fried at the end of it. And so I think I'm kind of getting to that point where I think I need to take a break from Clash Royale, just to kind of give my brain a break, just to kind of rest and reset, I guess. And Golden Knight he has Golden Knight and Evil Witch, I think, which is going to be a little bit annoying for. It's going to be a bit annoying for the Golem because of the Evil Furnace, because the Evil Furnace spawns so many fire spirits that oftentimes the Golden Knight can just dash through all the fire spirits to the furnace. And so even if you play it pretty far back where you think it's not going to dash, a lot of times it does. A lot of times it does dash. So that's something that we're going to have to be aware of. We're going to have to get him to try and waste his dash early. And he just used it there. I don't really think there's any point in healing that up. And again, this is one of those instances where I think we're going to want to try. We're going to try and go same lane here, because it's just not. This is just the last thing that you want to see. And Lightning as well. Well, Lightning is another one of the cards that does incredibly well against this deck, just because it immediately kills the furnace, and like I mentioned, that's pretty much the biggest. It's pretty much the biggest threat. I think the biggest threat in the push is not the. Yeah, I think it. Oh, minus 21. I think that's because I'm back as low as I can possibly get. Yeah. I think it's. I want to end the stream. I want to take a break. I want to go eat something, but again, it's just discouraging to end on a loss. So we'll try to win one more game. And you know what? Even though this guy is using underleveled cards and he has underleveled towers, if we beat him, we are going to BM him and we are going to end the stream just because he went Mega Knight in the back first play. So we're going to try and humble this Mega Knight user. And that should. Yeah, he's still going to need a. I don't know. I would feel a little bit bad just because his cards are so underleveled, but it's kind of like. I mean, he's using Mega Knight as well, which is just. It's just a card that annoys. Like I'm just tired of seeing it. I guess I'm just. Okay, you know what? Change of plans. We are. We're definitely beating this guy because he's using Mega Knight Eagle. I don't know how much gayer you can get. Yeah. I don't know how much of a no-skill deck you can make. So, and I think he definitely just spent all of his elixir there. So we'll go with that, just so that when the baby dragon dies, the furnace has a little tank, and that should take pretty much his whole tower. I guess his Mega Knight isn't evoed. I thought it was evoed, but he's already played it twice, and the second one wasn't an evo. So it's good that he doesn't have evo Mega Knight. What are his? Makes me kind of wonder what his evos are. Evo Firecracker, I guess, which is underleveled, so we can binds it. And okay, it did lock onto that, so I think we're gonna vines just to reset. Just to reset that, and then try and kill the Firecracker. And we have too many P.E.K.K.A.s, which is gonna do work against the E-Golem. And that should be a 3 crown, I hope. Alright. We're gonna play one more just because that didn't really feel like a... That didn't really feel like a good win. I mean, I know it was against a brain dead deck, but I can't end on that. Out of my conscience is just not gonna let me. And like, see, what is my starting hand? I mean, my only ground card is a bar barrel, which wouldn't have gotten down in time, so I have to go minions, and that's 1400 damage. And he spent 5 elixir, and I put what, 3 elixir into it. You know what? No, I'm not gonna make excuses. We're just gonna try to win. If we lose, it's because we didn't play it well. We're not gonna make excuses here. And that the Musketeer was evoed, so we're gonna have to keep that in mind, because that is, Evil Musketeer is a card that not very many people play, but it does do a pretty good job at countering things like if I play the Evo Furnace first, or the Evo Baby Dragon first, then the Musketeer is just gonna snipe it. But good luck. Okay, we'll hit him with that, and then if we heal this, it should kill the Golden Knight, and then also, okay, it's not going to get a shot on tower, but the Baby Dragon is. I think this is going to be the final game if we're able to win this, because this guy's using, I think, Evil Mega Knight. He is hitting us with the good luck in the middle of the game because he thinks his Mega Knight Goblin Barrel push is going to work, because it's worked against every other 10-year-old he's ever played. So we're gonna try our hardest to win this game, and then if we do, we'll end the stream on that, so that hopefully it's a satisfying win against a Hero Knight, Mega Knight player. I think we're gonna need to use our Baby Dragon here, and we'll heal up. I don't think the Fireball hit the mini P.E.K.K.A, because I think it was in the air. And it's actually not bad that he used... I should dash on just the... Okay, I was going to say just the Golem, but no. We'll go with this as well. Please counter that. No, it's not going to. Wow, that is going to be an L. Another L. Unless we can somehow get a miracle here. And we're not going to. Oh, we do. Okay. We did get... I did not think we were going to get that in time. We just have to protect the furnace, the evil furnace. And... Okay. Doesn't really make... I was going to say it doesn't make sense to go in, but I didn't realize we had a mini P.E.K.K.A there. And, Okay, we're finally able to we're finally able to end. We're finally able to rest. That was I did not think that we were gonna have time to get his tower there. I don't think there was even a millimeter of breathing room. I think that was about as close as it could get. So let's just want to watch that back. Yeah, it was probably less than half a second left, and we were able to take it. So that's a satisfying win that we can end on. We were able to win against a Mega Knight player and against someone who BM'd us in the middle of the game. Yeah, we didn't make it any higher on Trophy Road than when we started, which is a bit discouraging. But yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to end it there. Yeah, we weren't able to get any higher on Trophy Road, but we were still able to win some battles. And I think I still play a little bit off camera, so we may get a little bit higher on Trophy Road off camera, and then play again once we're a little bit higher. So hopefully you all enjoyed, and I guess I will see you in the next stream, or in the next video. It'll probably be a video next.